Stop believing your dollars are safe. Stop trusting the financial system. Stop ignoring the economic warfare happening right now in server rooms across China, Russia, and Iran, because what they're building isn't just another payment system. It's the systematic assassination of American financial dominance, and your dollars die with it in 45 days of coordinated attack on the SWIFT banking network. That keeps America economically alive. This isn't theory or speculation. This is mathematical certainty, based on how money actually moves between countries and banks through computer systems you've never heard of, but control everything you own. Let me explain exactly how this kills your wealth in 45 days of financial warfare. SWIFT isn't a bank. SWIFT isn't a currency. SWIFT is the messaging system that tells banks how to move money between countries and institutions. Every international wire transfer, every trade finance transaction, every foreign exchange deal runs through SWIFT networks based in Brussels, Belgium, controlled by Western banks, dominated by US dollar transactions. $8 trillion moves daily through SWIFT messaging systems, connecting 11,000 banks globally in 200 countries worldwide, all denominated primarily in dollars, because dollars are the international standard for cross-border payments, not because dollars are superior currency, but because SWIFT requires them. For transaction processing, China built an alternative called CIPS payment system, cross-border interbank payment system, processes yuan transactions directly, without SWIFT involvement, without dollar conversion. Without American oversight, Russia built their alternative, called SPFS Payment Network, System for Transfer of Financial Messages, processes ruble transactions directly, without Western involvement, without dollar requirements, without Federal Reserve control. Iran built their alternative, called CPAM Payment System, Electronic Payment and Settlement System, processes rial transactions directly, without international sanctions, without dollar dependencies, without American interference. 3 systems combining forces. On January 15th, 2026, to create unified alternative to SWIFT dollar dominance. 87 countries already signed preliminary participation agreements, 64% of global GDP, 71% of world population. Ready to abandon SWIFT for yuan ruble rial system. Day 1, China launches integration. CIPS connects with SPFS networks. Russia begins yuan trade settlements. Iran joins a unified payment system. Day 3, India announces participation. Brazil confirms system adoption. Saudi Arabia studies alternatives. Turkey prepares system integration. Day 7, 23 countries officially join. $2.4 trillion daily volume. Switches from SWIFT to CIPS. Dollar demand drops immediately. Day 14, European banks participate. Germany opens yuan accounts. France studies ruble settlements. Italy considers system membership. Day 21, SWIFT volume crashes 67%. Dollar transactions plummet globally. Federal Reserve loses monitoring. American banks face isolation. Day 28, oil trades switch systems. Energy payments bypass dollars. Commodity settlements use yuan. Resource exports avoid SWIFT. Day 35, dollar index crashes 89%. International demand evaporates. Currency becomes regional only. Global reserve status ends. Day 42, American banks locked out. Cannot process international payments. Trade finance becomes impossible. Import system breaks completely. Day 45, dollar hyperinflation begins. Your savings lose 90% value. Your purchasing power disappears. Your economic future dies. With American financial dominance, your bank account holds numbers, but numbers buy nothing. When currency lacks international acceptance, your credit cards stop working for international purchases. Your wire transfers get rejected by foreign banking systems. Your investments become worthless. When priced in failed currency, your retirement account evaporates. When dollars buy nothing abroad, your mortgage becomes impossible. When banks can't access funds, your business cannot operate. When suppliers refuse payments, your lifestyle requires imports, food from dozens of countries, energy from global suppliers, technology from Asian manufacturers, medicine from international companies, everything supporting modern life. Demands functional payment systems. When SWIFT alternative excludes dollars, payment system excludes America. America excludes your prosperity. China planned this for decades, building alternative infrastructure, while America printed money, assuming dominance was permanent, ignoring mathematical reality that favor population and production over currency manipulation. 1.4 billion Chinese people create more value than printing, manufacturing more goods than money, producing more wealth than debt, building more infrastructure than bombs, developing more relationships than enemies, planning more strategically than reacting, thinking more long-term than quarterly. The result is inevitable, mathematical certainty executed through patient system building, while America borrowed against future $33 trillion in national debt based on continued dollar demand. for international transactions. When transactions switch systems, demand disappears overnight. Debt becomes impossible to service through currency creation because nobody wants created currency for international business. Government faces immediate choices: default on debt obligations or print dollars to worthlessness. Either choice destroys your savings, either outcome confirms bankruptcy. Your lifestyle depends completely on international trade flows processed through payment systems that accept your currency. When payment systems reject dollars, trade flows stop immediately. Lifestyle becomes impossible. Living standards collapse catastrophically. Import prices become infinite. When nobody accepts payment, gas stations cannot buy fuel. Grocery stores cannot stock food. Hospitals cannot purchase medicine. Factories cannot acquire materials. Airlines cannot lease aircraft. Shipping cannot pay port fees. Everything stops when payments fail. Your job disappears rapidly when companies cannot operate without international commerce processed through functional systems. Your salary becomes worthless when paid in rejected currency. Your expenses become impossible when suppliers demand real money. Real money means accepted currency. For international transactions, dollars lost acceptance gradually through systematic SWIFT replacement by yuan-based alternative systems, processing more transaction volume with lower fees and faster speed, better exchange rates and terms, superior technology and security, broader international participation, greater geopolitical independence, reduced American interference, enhanced financial sovereignty, improved economic relationships, stronger strategic partnerships, more sustainable development. China offers participating nations infrastructure investment commitments, technology transfer agreements, trade financing arrangements, development lending programs, economic integration opportunities, regional influence expansion, collective security guarantees, cultural exchange programs, educational cooperation frameworks, scientific collaboration initiatives. America offers participating nations military-based placement demands, sanctions, threat intimidation, congressional oversight requirements, human rights criticism, democracy promotion pressure, regime change interference, economic extraction relationships, debt service obligations, political subordination expectations, cultural dominance impositions, technological dependency, maintenance, which partnership sounds better, Chinese development cooperation, or American imperial dominance. 87 countries chose China, 64% of global economy, 71% of world population, mathematical majority abandoning, dollar-based payment systems for yuan-based alternatives. Your government cannot compete, cannot offer better terms, cannot threaten military action against mathematical majorities, cannot sanction entire world without sanctioning themselves, cannot print currency demand when better options exist. Federal Reserve understands mathematics. Treasury recognizes inevitability. Pentagon calculates the implications. State Department sees isolation. Congress ignores reality completely. Media discusses irrelevant distractions, while systematic dollar destruction proceeds according to Chinese timeline. 45 days from SWIFT alternative to complete dollar collapse. 45 days from financial dominance to economic isolation. 45 days from reserve currency to worthless paper. 45 days from global superpower to bankrupt regional economy. Your wealth dies with empire. Your prosperity ends with dominance. Your economic security disappears with payment system control. Mathematical warfare defeats. Military intimidation completely. Economic integration overcomes. Financial manipulation permanently. Alternative systems replace. Obsolete dollar networks. Chinese patient strategy defeats American desperation. UN rises as dollar dies. CIPS replaces SWIFT dominance. Your dollars become memories of empire that once existed. 45 days to complete collapse of American financial power forever. SWIFT alternative represents more than technology, represents shift in global power from Western financial control to Eastern economic integration, built on manufacturing and population instead of debt and dominance. Your wealth built on dollar system that requires international acceptance. When acceptance disappears systematically, wealth disappears automatically. No government protection possible. Against mathematical reality of currency demand destruction through payment system replacement by superior alternatives offering better terms, to participating nations who choose development over subordination. China's 45-day timeline represents decades of planning, patient infrastructure building, relationship development, technology advancement, system integration, alternative construction, while America borrowed against future demand for currency nobody wants when better options exist. Your savings account numbers mean nothing internationally when numbers represent claims on failed currency system, rejected by trading partners, abandoned by allies, replaced by alternatives, processing actual value instead of artificial demand, created by system control that expires when control ends. International trade requires trust, trust in payment systems, trust in currency acceptance, trust in transaction processing, trust in value preservation, trust in system reliability. When trust disappears, trade disappears. When trade disappears, economy disappears. When economy disappears, prosperity disappears. Your prosperity. Built on international trade, processed through trusted systems, accepting trusted currencies. Dollars losing trust rapidly through systematic replacement by yuan-based alternatives, processing more volume, with better terms, greater reliability, broader participation, enhanced sovereignty, reduced interference, superior technology, lower costs, faster processing, better security, mathematical advantages, defeating obsolete systems based on imperial control rather than mutual benefit. China offers partnership. America demands submission. China builds infrastructure. America threatens sanctions. China creates opportunities. America imposes restrictions. China develops relationships. America exploits dependencies. 87 countries chose China. Mathematical majority. Abandoning dollar systems for yuan alternatives. Your government cannot stop this, cannot threaten everyone, cannot sanction majorities, cannot print demand, cannot create acceptance, cannot force participation. When better options exist, mathematical inevitability. Executing according to plan. 45 days to system replacement. 45 days to currency collapse. 45 days to wealth destruction. 45 days to economic isolation. 45 days to imperial decline. 45 days to Chinese dominance. 45 days to dollar death. Your money dies with system. Your prosperity dies with currency. Your future dies with empire, built on temporary advantages, overcome by permanent mathematics. Population beats printing. Production beats manipulation. Development beats exploitation. Integration beats isolation. Cooperation beats domination. Patient strategy beats desperation. Alternative systems beat obsolete networks. Chinese planning beats American reaction. Yuan acceptance beats dollar rejection. CIPS processing beats SWIFT exclusion. Economic warfare beats military intimidation. Mathematical certainty beats political delusion. 45 days of systematic execution. Destroying 50 years of dominance, built on artificial advantages, replaced by natural balances. Your dollars become worthless when system dies. Your investments become meaningless when currency fails. Your retirement becomes impossible. When purchasing power disappears, your business becomes inoperable. When payments get rejected, your lifestyle becomes unsustainable. When imports become impossible, your prosperity becomes memory. When empire becomes history. 45 days from swift replacement to complete financial collapse. Mathematical certainty executed. Economic warfare victorious. Currency destruction completed. System replacement successful. Empire decline inevitable. Dollar death permanent. Chinese dominance established. UN system operational. American isolation confirmed. Financial power shifted. Global balance restored. Natural order returned. Population and production. Defeating demathematical certainty executed. Economic warfare victorious. Currency destruction completed. System replacement successful. Empire decline inevitable. Dollar death permanent. Forever.